Yes, girl, yeah, you about that life. I mean, I just feel like every time I blink, it's like wispy, wispy. Look at it from the side. Madness. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. I have some amazing news to share with you, but before I do that, I want to talk about what I did yesterday. So the moral of this story is, do not, what looks good on one person doesn't necessarily look good on the next person. Do you know what I mean? So I had dinner with my friend last weekend and I saw her lashes. Now let me even tell you about this lash thing. I don't really like doing false lashes, like the individual lashes, because I find like it gets a little bit annoying for me, and I'd rather use the strip ones, like, you know, if I'm going out to dress up a little bit and then take them off, you know. Whereas with the individual ones, you just kind of have to wait for them to fall out, and then yeah. And have you ever had one fall into your actual eye? It's really painful. So anyway, I saw her lashes and I haven't done them for ages, like a really long time. And there's a lady I used to go to here in Lagos, but I don't know if it's the glue, because like my eyes are just streamy, so I was like, you know, I better quit that. Like, and she does them really well, but I think I'm just extra sensitive to her glue. So anyway, I've just decided, you know, this thing is not for me, let me just leave it, it's not that deep. If I'm going out, I'll just put on some strips. So I go and I see my friend's lashes. I'm like, oh, who does your lashes? And she told me who, one person, another person. So I said, okay, let me try them. Maybe their glue is going to be different. Now, this is the thing when you go to somebody new or you see someone else's lashes. Like, what suits one person is not going to suit you. So anyway, I go to this place and they tell me they have the different types, blah, blah, blah. And I go and they say, what do I want? And I said, I want them wispy. Wispy, wispy, wispy. Do they even know? I don't even know if the woman understood what I said by wispy. I said wispy, you know, where it's like different lengths and it's not like too full, but it's like kind of natural but voluminous. Yes, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Me too. I'm like, yes, girl, yeah, you about that life. She now says, oh, I can do cat eye. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll be nice. I said, do you have a picture? She showed me the picture. We discussed the lengths. You're doing different lengths, right? Cool. Anyway, so she does my left eye. And then she's like, okay, open your eyes so that you can see it. Now, when someone tells you to open, says they're going to do one eye so you can see it, because if you don't like it, they can, I'm assuming you can change it, right? So I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too long and it's too much. It's too much volume. I was like, I look like I'm about to take off. And she's like, so I'm like, oh, you need to change it. And she's like, I can't change it. So I'm like, so why are you showing me? So she says she can't change it, she can't remove it, she can't do anything. And I'm like, this isn't the picture you showed me. And she's like, oh, that, madam, your lashes, your real lashes are very full. That's why the thing is so full. So I can't go with one like roof on one eye and not have one on the other. So of course I have to continue. Did that, and I literally looked like, look, I know people like these kind of lashes, but I really don't, like, especially on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm going to the supermarket. Where am I going? I'm not going to the club or whatever. So she does the other ones, and I literally look, especially with no makeup on, I look ridiculous. I look like I'm about to take off. I don't look like myself. So I'm just in the car, and you know, so she said, oh, your aftercare. She gave me the thing we used to brush, aftercare. Don't put water on it for 48 hours. Obviously, I go home, washed my face. Was scratching my eyes, turning it around. It's so funny when you don't want them to fall out. When you want them to fall out, the lashes to fall out, they take forever. So a few have fallen out. I feel like I can see a slight difference, but you know, I mean, I just feel like every time I blink, it's like wispy, wispy. Look at it from the side. Madness, madness. So that's the moral of this story. Do not, what your friend has done doesn't mean it's going to suit you. It's long and short of it. But yeah. So I guess I'm just, and then I told a friend of mine and she kept calling me slay baba. Sorry, I hate that term. If you're a slay baba, you know, that's good for you. But I'm not, I don't even understand what it means. Even the word slay is really annoying. Okay, so that's what's been going on. The other thing that's been going on is I've got an announcement. I'm having another baby. Yeah. Yeah, we're having another baby. I'm pregnant. What is that noise? Ugh. Come on. Someone's car alarm. I'm just gonna wait for it to go off. So, like I was saying, I'm pregnant, and we've been trying for a few months, and it's so funny. Like, I was a little bit nervous. Well, first of all, because I was just thinking my age. Because when I gave birth to my first son, to my son, because I don't know what I'm having. I mean, I found out last week, so that's not a Freudian slip. When I gave birth to my first child, I was 35. Yeah, and I was already labeled a geriatric pregnancy. Exactly, little old me. So I was like, okay, age, fertility, your egg count is lower. I mean, I'm a coffee freak. I have a lot of caffeine. That's supposed to lower your fertility and all that kind of stuff. So I was actively trying, so every time I would, my cycle would pass and then I would get my period, I was disappointed and I thought, okay, you know what? Seriously, I have to get serious with this. Healthy eating, take folic acid, what else? Stop drinking. I mean, I don't drink as much as I used to, but like it was over Lent, so I quit drinking for Lent. Stop drinking. I'm like obsessed with coffee, so I had to have decaf, and then not have it every day. And decaf sucks. Like, what is the point of decaffeinated coffee? Like, why? What are you doing for a living? Like, what's your point on this planet? Anyway, I still drank it. So yeah. What else? So I'm using a new camera, and I don't know. I'm just trying something new. I don't know if I like the way it looks. My other one had this kind of like sheen, had this like filter on it. So I'm in my son's room. He's at school, so that his nanny doesn't hear, because no one knows, and I want to keep it that way for a few months, at least my first trimester, or until my belly gets huge. I mean, my stomach's big anyway, so whatever. It's actually it'll probably be easier to hide this time because my stomach is really big. Anyway, so yeah, so I just buckled down with my eating and what I was drinking and just taking it easy, and yeah, so I'm pregnant. I give God all the glory. I pray that this pregnancy will be stress-free. There'll be no bleeding. I also pray that I carry this pregnancy to term, and at the end of it, I have a healthy baby. That's all that matters. And I'm so grateful and so thankful, because I know the struggle is real. And, there's a thing called second pregnancy fertility or infertility, like people who you have one baby and then you can't get pregnant, for years. So there's a thing about that. And when my friends would be asking, oh, you guys try, no, you can have another, and I'd be like, I didn't really want to talk about it, but they're friends of mine, so I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, God's time is the best, which it is. And a friend of mine said, oh, there's a thing called, and I read about it, and I thought, that wasn't my portion, or my big. So anyway, I'm very thankful, and that means my pregnancy diaries are back. I know you guys enjoy. Well, that's kind of what kicked off my YouTube channel. So come with me and let's share our stuff that's happening in pregnancy life. But this time I'm going to do it from the perspective of someone who already has a child. So all the sleeping I was sleeping for my first pregnancy, I don't think I have the luxury of sleeping again, because I have to take myself to school, do all this stuff, and he's got a lot of energy. But it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. And God, please, no morning sickness, please, 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 please. I didn't have morning sickness with the first one, so I'm praying. But they say no two pregnancies are the same, but I won't have morning sickness. I won't. Not with these lashes, girl. So I feel good. The first, when I found out, around the time my period was due and I found out I was pregnant, I used an ovulation test again. I said this in my first ever pregnancy diary for my first child, so baby number 2. If you don't have any pregnancy tests, because I don't have them in the house as a rule, because you just keep trying and then you feel bad when you're not pregnant. I have the ovulation test to track my ovulation, to know the best when you're most fertile to get pregnant. And I have the digital one with does the smiley face, and if you're not ovulating, it just has a circle. But the same hormone is found in your when you're pregnant as when you're ovulating. Sorry, my English is a struggle this morning. So anyway, so I tried it thinking I wasn't pregnant, whatever, and then I had a smiley face, so that's how I found out I was pregnant. Then I bought pregnancy tests. I haven't gone to the doctor yet, and this is probably because it is my second pregnancy, so I'm not as okay, I need to go, but I will go, because just to make sure everything is solid and everything is good and my body is, everything's all in working order. So I need to book an appointment like today to go next week. But yeah, so please share this journey with me. I welcome all your prayers, and I'm praying along with all my pregnant ladies and those that are looking to get pregnant. I'm praying along with you. And if you have any questions, anything you want me to talk about specifically, I can't tell you how many weeks I am. I think I'm probably like for 4 weeks, or I don't even know. The thing comes from, they charge. Whew. They take it, the date is like from your last period, like the beginning of your last period, or is it the end of your last period? And that was like in April. This is like towards the end of May, so I'm probably like 4 or 5 weeks pregnant or something, because they add on 2 weeks. It's very strange. So if you want me to talk about anything in particular, but what happened, the other telltale sign was the day I found out, like, it's like I felt like I had a cold. I've had a sore throat for about a week. I've had a cold. I was just generally run down, and that tends to happen. Like your body, your immunity lowers so that the implantation can happen or something like that. I read about it a while ago, but yeah. So I've had a sore throat. I've generally been feeling a bit crap, just feeling a bit ill. But I feel better today. I actually recorded a vlog about this, like 3 days after I found out, and I just look jacked, man. So I was like, what, I'm gonna do what I look good. I look good with my new lashes. These lashes, Lord help me. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I will speak to you soon, and I'm really, really excited for this journey. I feel so blessed. I'm so grateful, and I will speak to you guys soon. Take care. Lots of love, kisses. Take care of yourself. Bye. Hi everyone. So this is probably the hardest video I've ever had to do so far, but I just thought that I've got my Snapback Chronicles edition, the UK edition, coming up, where we have pregnant women who've had children, who come and talk about their experiences, the good and the bad. And I've come across so many amazing women from amazing walks of life, and have had their own different experiences that have opened up, because it's a safe space where you can talk about anything and everything. And I felt like I would sort of be doing it a disservice by not saying anything, and also I feel led to say something. And also I feel led to say something. Hang on one sec. I feel led to say something. As you can see from the prior video, that I was pregnant and I'm not anymore. I've made peace with it and I've come to terms with it. It's been a very difficult, like the last month has been actually quite difficult, because I don't really know where to start. I will just tell you what happened. Basically, I went for my 8-week checkup. And also, sorry, before I even say what happened, because I'm in two minds about how much I should divulge of the story, because I don't want people to watch this and I don't want them to panic. Everyone's situation is different. I don't want you to think, oh, if I go for my scan and they say this is what it means. This video, I'm really hoping and praying, is to help other people that have been through this and that are currently going through it, So I just want to quickly share with you, I went for my checkup. I was supposed to be 8 weeks pregnant at that point, and the scan said I was 6 weeks pregnant. So they asked me if my dates were correct, and I was like, yeah, I tracked my dates were fine. And they said, okay, well, sometimes you ovulate late, that it might just be that your dates are off. But they said in the meantime, you'll come back in 2 weeks to check, because at that point I'll be 10 weeks pregnant. So the embryo, the sac should be a lot bigger, obviously. So I said, okay. And they said, in the meantime, let's check your hormone levels. So I didn't know that in early pregnancy, your hormones like double every 24 to 48 hours. So it should increase significantly. So they took my blood on a Tuesday and then on a Thursday, and I got a call on Friday saying that my hormones had decreased slightly. But I was still standing in faith, because I believed that anything can happen. And I did some research online, and I'd seen a lot of people whose hormones had decreased, and it was fine, it had increased again. So, and it didn't decrease that much. So I thought, okay, fine, whatever. And the 2 weeks I had to wait before my next time were extremely difficult, but I just remained positive. I kept busy. I was going out, meeting friends. No one knew anything, because I just, well, I mean, it's not really something you start telling people. And then a couple of weeks ago, I think it must be 2 weeks now, I went for my scan. So I was supposed to be 10 weeks in 3 days, and it said it was measuring at 6 weeks still. So the doctor called it a miscarriage, because I actually wasn't bleeding yet, or blighted ovum, some people have called it. So there was a fetal sac. The fetal pole, when I first checked, like 2 weeks prior I was there was actually no fetal pole at this point. And they were saying that it was actually starting to break down. So I was told by doctors over here that I would probably have to have it. I could have a medical miscarriage where you take a tablet, so it sort of speeds up the process, or you can do a D&C, which is where they sort of remove it surgically. So I was like, well, no offense, I'm not going to have a D&C in Nigeria where they're injecting me with all sorts. I'm not going to have that. So my husband was actually in London, was supposed to come back on that Monday when I found out, but he stayed because I decided to fly back to the UK. I saw doctors there. They confirmed everything the doctors had said, and they said because of the size, you don't have to do a D&C. A D&C would be me being put to sleep, which I didn't even realize. I just thought they'd numb me somehow. I don't really know what I was thinking. I guess I wasn't really thinking. And then they said, okay, so come in the next day, take a tablet, and they were going to do it over 2 phases. Wait 2 days, come in, and I'd be admitted to hospital where they'd monitor you as the blood, as things are passing out of you and all of that. I traveled on a Thursday to London, and I started bleeding on the plane. There wasn't a lot of blood, so it had already started. And then I went in on Friday. Then on Saturday they gave me the tablet. I don't know if it's because I was already bleeding, but what I think was supposed to happen in the hospital on Monday had already started happening after I took the tablet. After about 3 hours, my husband and I were walking around Bond Street. We went to Boots to get those not sanitary towels, because you can't use tampons when this is happening, obviously, to get those sanitary pants, like they're almost like adult nappies. So we went to get that. And I couldn't walk because I was in so much pain. And the only way I can describe the pain is having contractions. I couldn't believe it. I just felt like how could something so small, like how could it, I was technically at that point, I was about 11 weeks. How could it be so painful, physically painful? So it was like having contractions for about 2 days. I was in a lot of pain. I had to call the doctor. They told me the pain medication I should take and all that stuff. And then I went in on Monday and they monitored me as well. But at that point, most of it had passed out. And that was that. And they told me that you could bleed up to 2 weeks. They cautioned me about, getting infected. Like, don't have a bath, like don't douche in water, don't swim, don't use tampons, don't use sanitary towels, all that stuff. I was having like 3 showers a day because I was just bleeding quite a lot, and I was very, very uncomfortable. But what was interesting for me was that when I was in that pain that weekend, like the Saturday and Sunday where I was having contractions and really like searing pain, I almost felt better because I didn't have to think about what was going on. I was just thinking about getting over the pain. And then on Monday and Tuesday, when the pain had subsided, it's like I had to actually face what had happened. Or even Monday night when I came back from the hospital, I didn't have any pain in the hospital. I came back from the hospital and I was suddenly in agony again, and I called and I was worried, and they said, oh, it's probably your cervix trying to go back to its regular size. Your cervix is shrinking. So that's basically what happened. I was very distraught. Like, this is going to sound really strange. I don't want to say I was surprised by how upset I was, or how upset. Like, I think that maybe the last 3-4 days I haven't cried, or I've been able to talk about it to people who knew about it without crying. But there are just moments where I'm just alone and my mind wanders, and I just feel, I did feel sad. Like I feel sad, because it doesn't matter how early you are or how far along you are, you can't help but plan. And I've had one pregnancy and everything was fine. So never in my wildest nightmares did I think that this was going to happen. Like, I wasn't even thinking along those lines. But what is interesting is that when I was about 7 weeks pregnant, I remember I woke up one day and, like, when I'm pregnant, I am starving. I wasn't hungry and I had a lot of energy. And usually in my first trimester, I am exhausted. So I guess at that point, the embryo had stopped growing. But yeah, so I don't really know what to say apart from that's what happened. But I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing so much better. In all things, we give thanks. That is going to sound a bit preposterous to some people, like, what's going on? God knows the what, the when, and the why. I don't know. And honestly speaking, it's really not in my place to know. I can't sit here cracking my brain about what happened. I know I did not do anything. I did not do anything wrong. It just happened. And I don't know what I could have done to prevent it and all of that. And I just feel like in all things I give thanks, because I had to look within myself and draw strength to overcome this. Like, I could have brought my son with me and stayed in London, but I chose to come back home. I'm actually traveling again in a few weeks for the summer holidays, but I chose to come back because I felt like if I was still in London where it happened, I'd be wallowing in self-pity and I'd just be thinking, I'd be thinking about it too much. But here I had a few things that I needed to do. Like today I went and I spoke to a group of young girls about my career and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's really, really important to get back out there and get into work. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have any more sad days. I'm praying I don't. But I'm a human being, and the thing is, there's still hormones rushing around in my body. Let's not forget that. So I feel like I've made the wise choice about coming back and being busy, like taking my mind off things, so that when I do go back to London, I'm going to feel refreshed and I'm going to be like, I'm actually here on a holiday and I'm going to enjoy myself with my son. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. I get it. Like, when this kind of thing happens to you, it's difficult to pray. It's difficult to worship. And that is what you need to be doing the most. It is so difficult because your mind is drifting. I found that when it was happening, my husband asked me how I was feeling, and I said, I can't describe it. I felt like I couldn't hold on to a thought. My mind was just, it was like, I felt like I was in, imagine a huge bubble or circle, and there's a ping pong, and it's just pinging. The ball is just hitting one place and going to the next. I felt like that's what my mind was doing. I couldn't grasp one thought and just stick with it. My head was all over the place. I felt like my brain was like scrambled eggs. And that's what I'm saying. And I want to encourage anyone that this is happening to, that do not lose faith, do not lose hope. You will get pregnant again and you will have your baby. I don't know about you, but this isn't happening to me again. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm positive that my next pregnancy will be viable, will be successful. I will have a beautiful, healthy baby, because I just will. And I have that faith in God and I have that confidence. Don't get me wrong, it's very difficult. Like, I was reading my daily devotional the other day, and I just thought, let me read this up for you. Let's do it. Acts 27:13-44. It said, when things go wrong in your life, are you sometimes tempted to panic? I know that I am. If everything is going well in our lives, it's relatively easy to trust the Lord. But it's actually more difficult, obviously, when things aren't going great. However, there are times when we face major challenges to our faith. Amongst his many challenges, trials, and sufferings, Paul was shipwrecked 3 times. Okay, sorry, it's going on and on about the story of Paul. But I just want to implore you that this is not the time to be like, oh no, this is bad. I mean, it is bad, but you know, oh, this is the end. No, this is not the end. This is the beginning, okay? So whoever is going through this, I just want to implore you to keep the faith. Honestly, please keep the faith. It's not easy, but like I said, I'm keeping busy. I'm having, like today I spoke to a bunch of amazing girls. I was on this panel with amazing women, and I learned so much, and I came out of there like with a spring in my step. I can't remember the last time that happened, you know. So just keep the faith, and if you want to talk, I'm here. Send me an email to marcyoni@marcydolapooni.com. If you have any questions, I don't have all the answers, okay? I'm not pretending to, but I just wanted to share with you what has happened in my life so far. But I know there are better days ahead. And when you're feeling sad, write down your blessings. Write down how God has blessed you. I've had an amazing year. This is a blip, right? This is a blip, but I have had the most amazing year. I have so many things to be thankful for, and I choose to focus on those things that I am thankful for. I choose to focus on my blessings. So I feel led to pray. You do not have to be a Christian to pray along with me, but I am. And Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for everyone who is able to watch this, and for my platform. I want to thank you for giving me the courage and for the Holy Spirit to speak through me, to speak to other women who have gone through this. Father Lord, anyone that is currently going through this or has been through this, Father Lord, I pray that you heal their hearts. I pray that you give them peace, and I pray that you give them strength. I pray you give them strength to wake up every day and to be thankful for all the fantastic things in their lives. Father Lord, anyone who is going through this, Father Lord, I pray that you just heal them, their mind, their body, and their soul. And Father Lord, I know that the victory is yours, and they will have victory. They will have victory when they see their baby. They will have victory in childbirth, in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, I just pray that you cause your face to shine upon them and to guide us every step of the way. In Jesus' mighty name I pray, amen. So that's it. You know, I feel so much better talking about this, and God bless you all. Take care of yourselves, and we have the victory, okay? We have the victory. God bless you.